Hello everybody, welcome back to the shack. This is M0 Sugar Golf Sugar in Pudsey, West Yorkshire. Okay, yesterday I did a video, showed you how to set up a FTM100 Delta for Wires X mode, so you could, as you see in the screen, connect your radio via the SCU20 cable to your PC and set up the Wires software and operate on Wires X direct using just one radio and the microphone attached to it. In direct mode, I explained that you could talk direct into the internet without going through the RF, so no need for a second radio, which is all good. But on reading and playing with the system, I found something out that could be quite dangerous for the UK market, especially, but quite a bonus for places like Australia and the US, where they don't have the license legal requirements that we have to operate what's essentially a simplex gateway. So if you are going to try this out, I would suggest you try and plug a dummy load into the back of the FTM100 and not have it attached to an antenna, because you will be in breach of your license agreement, your ham radio license agreement, because you do not have an NOV for a gateway on digital modes. So be very careful if you try this. There is a button that you can press, and I'm not going to press it because I don't have a dummy load in the back of the radio at the moment, while you're in Wires X direct mode, and it's the AB button, the yellow one on the left hand side, the Alpha stroke Bravo button. As you see, we're in direct mode at the moment. My radio's on low power. If I press that AB button, a frequency will be displayed instead. That frequency is an output frequency for the radio and for the internet connection that you've made using the Wires X system. This is great if you've already got an NOV, because you can use just an FTM100, FT2D, or indeed an FT400 as a gateway radio, just through the update without using a HRI box. But you need to be licensed. You have to go to the ETCC website and you have to apply for a gateway license, a simplex gateway license, and that requires some work, some paperwork, and definitely some work on your station. Depending on your elevation, the antenna you're going to use, and the coax, and the length of coax, and your losses, etc., etc., determines how much power you can retransmit. So you can do this at your own. You can try this out for yourself just to prove that it works, by attaching a dummy load to the back of the radio. Now, the way I look at it is this firmware update is even good for us. And the reason I say that is, if you're not licensed for a gateway, i.e. you don't have an NOV to run a simplex gateway, and again, check with the ETCC on this. It's a very fantastic feature, and I'll explain why in a second, but if you try and use it without first obtaining that license, you are in breach of your ham radio license. So basically, when you're in Wires X direct, the signal, there's no RF comes out the back of the radio, and the signal goes straight down the SCU20 cable into the internet. If you press the AB button, you'll see a frequency displayed, and that's switches the antenna on at the back, and it transmits that frequency, or what's ever been heard on the internet, out into the ether from your local station or from your house. like I say, this breaches the requirements of your license, because you have to be a registered simplex gateway, you have to have a gateway call sign, etc, etc, etc. So, however, if you use a digital ID system and the group ID system within your settings on your WiresX software, you can effectively lock out anybody else from using your system. Now, in the UK, we do have a remote station availability to us, but that remote station can only be controlled with a power of 500 milliwatts or less. So if you have a handheld effectively, and you have digital IDs to stop anybody else using your system, you can remote access your system from, say, an FT1D, your own main station radio from your FT1D, to the FTM100. So just be aware that this option does exist with the new firmware update. Places like Australia and America, where they don't have this license restriction to operate as we do in the UK, it basically means that the firmware update, any user that's got an FTM100 can automatically open a node or create a node for their local area, so local hams that don't want to do this can do it themselves. So just be aware of that. Thanks for watching. This is M0 Sugar Gold Sugar, Pudsey, West Yorkshire. Enjoy your radio and enjoy the CQ UK room. Do come and give us a visit.